Welcome to the Operate Business Podcast, the show that celebrates the grit, grind, and passion it takes to build extraordinary outdoor brands. Your host, Rebecca Babicz, brings you straight into the stories of marketers and industry insiders who are shaping the outdoor world. Let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, Anna, how's it going? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, so tell us who you are and what you do.
So I'm Anna. I'm the founder of Hoohah, which is an outdoor apparel brand based in Denver. And we started out by trying to get more ladies out on the slopes, excited about skiing and outdoor activities by making fun, happy clothes that you get excited about being outside in.
Okay, wait. So the name of your company is Hoohah.
Yes.
This took me a minute to wrap my head. I was like, I think I know what that means. Oh my goodness, that is so hilarious. So it's actually a double meaning. Tell me about why you named your company Hoohah.
Yeah, so originally started out by wanting it to be a very girly outdoor apparel brand. And with that, I wanted a name that really encompassed the female experience. But also, yeah, it needs to sound like booyah. So hoo-ha rhymes with booyah, but also it means vagina. So kind of using both those words. And then also that when you look up the meaning of hoo-ha in the dictionary, it says to create an uproar. And that's really what we're trying to do. And when you wear hoo-ha, a lot of people will stop you on the slopes and ask you about your outfit, and you create an uproar in the lift line.
I love it. I love it. It's such a fun, memorable name. So tell me, what is the vibe that you are building? Are you building a party brand, a performance brand, something in between?
Yeah, we're making um performative apparel that also you can party in and you feel comfortable in. Um Skiing is something you do in your free time, so it should be fun, and the outfits that you wear should be fun to reflect that. So we want to create outfits that you feel like you could wear every day, but also you can wear it to the opera parties, to the music festivals, and have more fun because you feel confident and cute and warm.
I love it. I love it. And so you have such a fascinating background. Take me back. What did you study in college?
I studied product design, and that was really focused in hard goods and furniture. And I wanted to learn how to make camping gear, but more of like the cooking supplies, the tents, and the backpacks. But because I was interested in like the soft goods area, I started sewing and making coats and backpacks and stuffed animals and things like that in college. But I was also surrounded by friends in the fashion design program as well. And so I was really inspired by all the things they were making. I was like, maybe I can make this more fashion forward backpacks for camping. And then I kind of fell into the fashion world that way and started working at Marine Layer, which is a clothing brand, as a technical designer. So I was still on the technical side, creating their products. But it kind of forced me into the fashion world that way.
I love it. So growing up, were you always a creative kid? Were you like all about arts and crafts, or is this like just ingrained in kind of who was Anna as a child?
Yeah, I was definitely a arts and crafts person. Um, my mom always talks about how I would steal all the cardboard and tape, and she would never know where her scissors were because I was always crafting, building things. And I still have friends from middle school who were like, "Yeah, every time you came over, we did a craft project, and we made like duct tape flip-flops and random stuff all the time."
I love it. I love it. So I think it was pretty obvious to you that that was your path to follow, and you took that. So tell me about your experience at Marine Layer. So that sounds kind of like a dream job. What was your day-to-day like there?
Yeah, it was totally a dream job. It's a really small company. When I started, it was. And I was one of four tech designers working on all of their products. And then quickly after I got there, like 2 months in, I was the only one working on the men's line. So I got to work on every product that they made for the men's line. And the men's fit designer is the CEO. So I got to work with him really closely. And I was working on everything from denim to um, insulated outerwear to t-shirts to button downs. So I got to touch all the different product categories and really see how each thing was made and where the problems were, where the fit issues were, and really learn about fit and construction and working with manufacturers in that way. And that really helped me with what I'm doing now because now I can be my own product developer and kind of expedite the process for making each product.
I love it. It's such a good foundation for what you're building. I have interviewed many people on the podcast, and most have a great idea and have to go hire an Anna to bring their idea to life, right? But it's really cool that you kind of started with that background and that foundation in your career. But okay, also really funny that you said marine layer is really small because I just think that like maybe they've just grown a lot, but like I feel like they're a huge brand. I don't know.
They have a pretty small team, but they get a lot done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked really hard there. But I learned how to get a lot done with a really small team and really hustle. So that was awesome.
So you had a cushy dream job at Marine Layer, and tell me about when you decided to go all in on Hoohah. Was it like a moment in time? Um, and ultimately, yeah, how did you make that jump?
Yeah, so I was bringing out my girlfriends for ski trips to my hometown in Edwards outside of Vail, and they were really intimidated by skiing. So I came up with the concept because I brought out my mom's old ski onesies from the 80s and we all skied in them and it totally changed the mood. And at the time I was working at Marine Layer and was kind of interested in this idea of starting my own company eventually. Um, but really what pushed it was when COVID hit, I was at home and had a lot of time on my hands, and I found this 70s ski suit that had like these really cool rainbow stripes on the shoulders, and it was like a cropped fitted jacket, but it had holes and stains. So I was like, okay, what if I cover these with big flower patches, and make it more this like 70s retro suit. And so I started sewing on these patches and it's like, well, what if I make another one that has fringe or ruffles? And I made suits for all my girlfriends for our next ski trip. And we all wore them. And people stopped us on the hill the whole time and were like, where did you get those? We need some of those. So I was like, oh, maybe this is the concept for my business is like, we need to make ski wear way more fun. And people are really into this. Like, let's try this. And then my husband was like, if you want to start a business, you got to do it before we have kids, before we have a house, before we have all these other things, other responsibilities, and it gets too hard. So, yeah, I was like, okay, here we go. Let's try it.
We talked about this a little bit the other week, and I feel like I was like, I have to make a mental note to talk about this on the podcast because we haven't talked about this at all. And for me, when I started following digital, it was really similar where kind of what you said, where your husband was like, life's gonna get a little bit crazy and like now's the time to do it. And so when I started following digital, I had just moved in with my husband. We lived in a really small house in like maybe a less desirable kind of part of town. Our mortgage was super cheap. We had just adopted like a dog. And so like the overhead for that, like the overhead that I need, the revenue that I needed to generate was super within my means at that time. And I feel like I don't talk about that enough, or entrepreneurs don't in general kind of talk about how they set up their lives for like success. So I'm curious, on that note, like, like you said, like your husband he had like a really good job and he was more supportive of you. And what are some of the other things that you kind of like nested yourself into to be like, okay, like this, I can make this work, because my life is this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. It happened at a pretty interesting point, I guess, because we were living in Oakland at the time in a small apartment. We had enough space to like have a sewing room and things like that. But I really had to like focus. I think a hard part as a designer is that you always have all these ideas about all these things you could do. And you're like, well, I should paint my kitchen. I should do all these other things and blah, blah, blah. You have all these fun ideas or, oh, I want to go out to this party with my friends. And you really have to focus when you're like, okay, it's time to build a business. And that's all you can do, really. If you want it to be successful, you have to really be obsessed with it. So that was the main thing was changing my mindset of being like, okay, every project I do is going to be hoo-ha focused. And then from there, it kind of snowballed into like, okay, maybe we should leave Oakland because it's expensive. We can't buy a house here. So we decided to move to Colorado to be closer to the mountains where my customers would be. And my parents live here. If we have a backup, we need it. And we can afford a house that has a basement and I can store all my inventory here. So I don't need to have a fulfillment center. I don't need a storage unit. I have it in my basement. And so I do all my fulfillment from here. Um, and then we have enough space that I can have my office and like 3 sewing machines and things like that. So that really pushed it. And then being able to have like a car where I can fit all of my stuff for the hoo-ha markets and be able to drive through all the mountain towns because we live we're close to Denver, but we're closer to the mountains. So it makes it more convenient.
That was like a big life decision for you and your husband. Like, I mean, I love California. I love Oakland. I love
Yeah.
San Francisco. You were working for Marine Layer. Like you probably at one time, like that was like your dream, right? And then you had to almost let that dream go to have and fulfill this dream along with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
move.
I think Um, a little bit of it is ego, like starting your own business is like, I can do this. I can do this better than anybody, like, so I definitely had that of like, my true dream is making hoo-ha or something that I believe in into something. So, and that is hoo-ha. So that really drove it. And then Chris being like my husband, being so supportive of me fulfilling that dream and really pushing me to do it because he's always been inspired by the fact that I had this dream and it wasn't just like working for somebody else. It was I want to make these awesome ski suits and have people wear them and see them on the hill. Like it's such a fun thing to do. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. And I think that's so amazing to have a supportive partnership and somebody who truly believes in you. Probably when, there's times when you probably didn't believe in yourself. And I know that we've talked about this a lot on this podcast, but like that pre-launch year when like you don't have product yet, you just have this vision and you have these scraps of ideas and like for many founders, I feel like that's the hardest year is like the year before it actually goes to market. Was that your experience as well?
So my first year, I really it's really expensive to have a production run of ski suits. It can cost I mean for a small run it's like 60K. So the first year I was making everything myself. So I was kind of going to market really quickly because I was making everything at home. And that kind of made it easier to visualize what was happening and the hype that I was creating because I'd like make something in a day and or in a week and then take it to a market and then see people's reactions to it. And then people's reactions to it really like helped me build confidence to build this brand and be like, okay, these are the products people are excited about. These are the products people aren't excited about. I shouldn't make any more of those. But I think now it's getting a little harder actually because I'm doing these larger production runs. Um, and I'm investing more money into larger quantities of units. And I'm like, okay, hopefully people like these. Hopefully I can sell 100 to 300 of them. And so it gets a little bit more like, I guess imposter syndrome of like, what am I doing here? I'm like,
Yeah.
is this the right thing to make? And then also like, I guess I gotta put myself on social media and like be the face of the brand again. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's ebb and flow. So it's nice to have somebody there that's like, yeah, you got this, or like seeing it from the outside and being like, you look like the happiest girl on the internet. And then at home, I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, I love this. one thing that you said, I wanted to circle back on how you were making the suits yourself, and you still have some on your site that are actually upcycled,
Mhm.
which I think is so cool. So like probably like what you went to like old thrift stores and hunted down these suits on eBay and online and like turned something old into something cool. Is that still going to be a part of Hoo-Ha moving forward, or is that just kind of to get you launched and test product?
I hope to bring it forward. Right now, I do it as like a capsule collection every year. So it's like our fashion show line, where I source a bunch of vintage suits, anywhere from onesies to two-piece sets to just snow pants. And then I retrofit them. And that's really how I test out new designs to see what people are interested in, because I don't want to invest too much money behind something that is too opinionated or people don't like the color or something like that. Because fashion can be so specific, and trends are so quick. So that's kind of my way of testing designs and seeing what people like. And then I'll sell them to see which ones sell first, because that's really an indicator of like, okay, this is something people will actually put their money behind rather than be like, oh, that one's so cool. But then they'd never wear it. So, you know.
Your product, like you said, it's like it's not gonna fit in an REI. Um, because it's a little too fun or maybe it could. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that it couldn't, but what we were talking about last time is like finding those retailers because the product is so niche. Um, Tell me about like your ideal retailer and some of the challenges that you've had with creating such a fashion forward, cool, different product.
I mean, creating Hoo-Ha is it's very fashion forward. We're telling a story, and that story doesn't really fit into the classic like outdoor brands thing. And so a lot of retailers shy away from it because it doesn't fit with the rest of their collection, or it feels like costumey to some people. But so I think what I'm really trying to do is focus on that storytelling and the brand story, to get more well known so that the customers will ask for it and find the right boutiques that would carry it. Something like a specialty ski shop, at the bottom of Alta, we've had really good luck with because the owner loves Dolly Parton and like they already are okay with having like funky, cool stuff in there. Um, and I think it's also interesting because we have an approachable price point. So a lot of boutique ski shops that have more interesting stuff usually have like a over $1,000 price point, sometimes like $1,200 for a ski suit. So I think that's kind of been an interesting thing to see where our wedge is, in the market. So right now we're really focusing on direct to consumer and online and really trying to find our customer on our own.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I do think like I see like these lava lamp bibs in purple, and I'm like, those need to be in a ski shop, right? Right, right. Like maybe not in an REI next to Patagonia or something like that, but like in a cool little ski shop where you're just like browsing around and you're like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. I need it. And then I think it's like makes it more special and unique too. But yeah, I don't know. I also wouldn't rule out the bigger retailers for what you're trying to accomplish. I think that people are always looking for new and interesting stuff. And if, you know, they want trendy stuff that's going to sell quick and like that's what you're creating. So, but yeah, okay, so we talked, you're shifting, most of your focus on direct to consumer, and you said that you're having to put yourself online and be the face of the brand. Tell me about what that experience is like being a founder, but also having your main job be a content creator.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a shift in mindset, and being like, okay, I just can't care what people think, or I just have to be myself in front of the camera and get comfortable with that. And also I think just like posting every day is a little hard to like watch all the likes and look for the comments, and you're like constantly checking to see if people are liking the video and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get past that and just be like, doesn't matter, we just have to try it and see what happens. But it's been cool even just to post every day to see how many like followers we get quickly and how quickly we can find people that really enjoy this niche. Because it is so specific, we can really target a lot of people on TikTok and find all of our people quickly, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah. I am your peoples. I know your peoples. I mean, this is like this is the Frank party at the end of the year of Alta. Like you want this outfit. And not even just for that. I think it's just so fun. So are you coming up with your own organic strategy then, or do you have somebody that you're consulting with? Are you just like looking at trends, pulling sounds, just like kind of
Yeah.
doing it all?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just on TikTok, on Instagram, like pulling trends and sounds and seeing what would fit with the ski suits that I'm launching or the different products that I'm trying to use or show off, and kind of trying to do it organically. I feel like it's helping a little bit to do it organically, because if you do it like right when the trend hits and as a normal consumer would be doing it, it seems to perform better than if you were like to calculate exactly how you wanted to do it for the whole month, then you'd be behind. So, and I think it makes it a little bit more fun too if you're just like, oh, let's go make this video. Like, hey friend, come on over. Like, can you be in this video with me? And so that's how I'm doing it at the moment. We'll see if that changes as I have a baby next month and, and I have to be a little bit more ahead of schedule. We'll see.
Oh gosh. Well, this is going on YouTube. You should show off your Hoohah sweater and your baby bump. It's so cute.
You can see. You made me stand up. Yeah, my baby bump is
Oh my
big
gosh.
right
So
now.
horrible.
Hopefully it's as big as it's gonna get, because I don't fit into a lot of other stuff right now.